Welcome to Survival Weekly. My name's Chad.
And my name's Kevin. This is our show about two ordinary guys just discussing survival.
And today's episode is about guns. Kevin, do you like guns?
I'm not a gun fanatic, but I guess I do like certain things about guns. I trap shoot and a few other things, so I mean I like them for some things, and I see their purpose for, hunting and certain things like that. I don't really like the idea that we constantly design new machines to kill other human beings, but
Like assault rifles, you mean? 50 caliber assault rifles? And...
Absolutely. There's nothing to hunt with a 50 caliber.
Other than humans?
Unfortunately.
or aircrafts?
Or animals that you shouldn't be killing anyway, things like that. So, I see no purpose in nuclear weapons and certain things like that either.
But what about their place in survival? See, I'm not a big fan of guns either. I'm not a fanatic, rather. I do like guns. I appreciate them as tools. Handguns, assault rifles, I don't really see the need for them or a place in our culture for them. In a bug-out survival situation, though, do you think you're not a gun fanatic yourself either, you said?
Absolutely.
What about putting an AK-47 or an M14 into your bug-out bag setup?
Don't get me wrong. If we were capable of having those types of weapons in Canada, I do see a benefit to having a weapon like that, to be able to resist tyranny, to protect the rights of the people of a country, certain things like that. But I also think that being able to walk into a corner store and walk out with an AK-47 is a pretty scary thing. It's used for killing people. It's not a practical hunting weapon, although I guess you could deer hunt with an AK-47, not legally, but in a bug-out situation. You may require protection in a bug-out situation.
It's really for the two-legged animal.
Absolutely. Whether hunting or carrying, it's still for the two-legged animal, that's for sure. You may need it for protection in a bug-out situation, but I think a shotgun will provide relative protection as well, and I think a fully automatic assault rifle is maybe a little bit on the extreme side.
Plus the weight factor. I agree, it's extreme. It's extreme behavior to even want to pack all that in your gear.
At least solely for the idea of personal protection, because to me that means that you think that every bug-out situation is going to be a military situation, and I don't necessarily concur with that. I think there's lots of natural disaster type situations that can occur, and you don't need an assault rifle for a hurricane.
So even the extreme behavior, aside from the extreme behavior, rather, the weight penalty of carrying all these rounds of ammunition.
Oh, absolutely.
We did that bug-out bag challenge, and weight would definitely be an issue. Our packs were pretty light and small, but add what my real bug-out bag is plus ammunition,
for every pound of ammunition, I think that's a pound of water that you could be carrying. So,
yeah.
Like I said, I can see both sides of the coin when it comes to a gun. I can see some good purposes. I can see a lot of negative purposes. I know there's a lot of people out there that say, well, in a bug-out situation, I'm just going to take what you have. I'm going to use my gun or whatever. And I guess my question to people is, what makes you think in a bug-out situation that it's okay just to get rid of all your morals? Like these people saying, I'll just walk up and shoot you in the head.
I've had that commented on one of my sites, my channels.
Right, and I say most ordinary people that don't have the murderer mentality are not just going to be able to walk up to a person that's never done them any harm and shoot them in the head and steal their things. I think that's just a lot of big mouths talking that... even soldiers, okay, there's statistics all over the place to prove this, shoot over top of the heads of other soldiers and aren't really willing to kill even on a battlefield. So to think that the general public is going to walk around, shoot a guy in the forehead, and not think twice about it, I think that's a joke.
Because take his bag.
I think they'd be moving around right now like a bunch of murderers. And for me personally, I'm all about the growth of humanity and less violence and whatnot.
So you do see a place for guns. Not necessarily. You're on board with me, right? Assault rifles and handguns, like pistols, don't necessarily have a place in...
Absolutely, and I think a lot of the people out there that have an AK-47 that think because they have one gun they can take on an entire military, I think they're just kidding themselves, and I think they're going to fire one shot before the army tank fires around back and destroys them. or before the 50 cal sniper shoots him from
Yeah.
2 miles away and blows him into
Yeah.
1,000 pieces with a sprawling
Or they
round.
Google map them.
With an armor-piercing round, or because he made a cell phone conversation. You know, a lot of these bug-out people say, well, you know, your kit should include your cell phone. And I say that is like one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Even the military teaches down pilots to get rid of the radios and stuff like that because they can be tracked through radio chatter. And I think carrying your personal GPS unit that can be tracked is probably not the smartest thing that you could like have in your pocket.
Yeah, yeah. So what kind of guns would you have, or do you have for your bug-out system?
I would prefer a shotgun, a gun that is used for hunting bird, that can be used for catching food as well as protection should I have to. I don't think, I'm not going to take on a military with a shotgun, but I'm not going to take on a military even if I had one M14 and a pile of rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, you're asking for your own death. I mean, I don't have a helicopter and missiles and army tanks and...
I do.
Oh.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
We have a huge stockpile. No,
Yeah.
but I mean, so to fire one round from your gun, that is only going to give them your location. They're going to call in an airstrike, and your life is over. So I don't see it practical.
I don't either. For me, I wouldn't want a shotgun though. I'd want a 22, and I will be getting one for sure. Because the rounds are so much smaller.
If I was going to
the
have a
ammunition.
rifle, I would actually rather have a bolt-action rifle that I could use for hunting game or whatever that I could use to try to sustain my survival. Because, like I said, the option of firing at an entire military when you have one gun, I think that would be the biggest mistake you ever made.
Yeah, yeah. I'm all about shaving those ounces down, right? So the 22 is definitely the way to go for me.
And, well, but a 22 is going to be a hard gun to take down large game.
And personal protection, not the best for close quarters personal protection.
Personal protection, I would think it's okay if it's a rifle or whatnot. I mean, I'm
Not that I would ever want to have to use it for that.
absolutely...
I'm not hoping these kind of scenarios come to light or ever occur, because I definitely don't want any of this to happen. But when considering bugging out, that is a part of it, right? Self-defense.
Absolutely.
Just as much as martial arts is.
Absolutely. I don't take martial arts to beat myself up. I take martial arts to defend myself if I'm backed into a situation where I have to. I don't believe in violence. I'm not a violent person, not by any means. Actually, quite the opposite. But I will protect myself should I have to, and
Yeah.
I want to be prepared to do that, and I am. And you should be too.
Well, I hope we're all going to be one.
Martial
day.
arts is a part of survival. Like you said, survival is not only knowing how to eat, but part of survival is knowing how to defend yourself and to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And I think over any weapon which can run out of bullets, which can break down, which can malfunction, the human body is the best weapon that we all have, as a sharp mind and a sharp body and a connection to that.
Yeah.
A gun doesn't fire itself, and you know,
Good point.
the tactics are what keep you alive in a military situation, not just pulling a trigger. So your brain is definitely the most important weapon. A gun itself is just a piece of metal lying on your table. The person really, you know, and the concept of a weapon, I don't even, like, a gun is really not a weapon. The person holding it is, because a gun itself does nothing. The person pulls the trigger, the person fires the round, the person is the weapon, the gun is just the tool.
Yeah.
That's my take on a gun in general, that the weapon is the person.
You wouldn't rather have a bow and arrow or a compound bow or a crossbow?
I think I would do a much better job deer hunting with a rifle than
I think most of us would.
than a bow or whatever. So
Yeah.
I think, yeah, sure. I mean, if I could have both, I would take a bow. I mean, a bow is another valuable tool as well. I mean,
But as far as guns go?
a gun versus a bow.
Well, I mean, as far as guns go, you'd pick a shotgun, probably, you're saying, or a bolt-action rifle.
Or a rifle, yeah. Not a fully automatic military weapon.
Even if we could get one here in Canada.
Absolutely, which we can.
Yeah. No. So, we want to know what you think about guns. Do you have one in your bug-out system? Are you going to be getting one for your bug-out system? What kind of guns? Let us know.
How much does it weigh? If you have a kit and you have all kinds of ammunition, have you ever just sat down and weighed out how much weight you have just based on your gun and your ammo? Because that's something you're going to be
And
lugging
have you ever
around.
packed everything up and tried it out?
Yeah, we want
With all that ammo, let us know, yeah.
My name's Kevin,
My name's Chad.
and thanks for watching Survival Weekly.
See you next time.